Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today, fresh back from a 7-day cruise with a stop in Costa Maya. Today we're going to provide a review, an overview, and debrief our excursion in Costa Maya Lost Mayan Kingdom Adventure Park. And before we get too far into the weeds, this is orientated to folks traveling on Carnival. It makes a stop here, $119 for adults, $114 for kids. Norwegian Cruise Lines stop here, it's $119. But don't forget, you also get that $50 per port credit. And also Royal Caribbean goes here as well. Currently it is $95 at 25% off, depending upon your cruise dates. Prices do vary by cruise lines, but where it takes you is the same place. So let's go ahead and hop in and talk about my experience. When you go in there, there is a map. This is a map of the entire complex. You enter through the gate here and you end up at pretty much a sign pointing you to everything. There's a relaxed pool and nice kids area. I'll show you a picture I took of that. There's also the slide complex. Before I get too far into it, I am impressed that as many slides as there are, and there's about 8 of them, and there's also zip lines. But you don't need to climb steps. I've been to Blizzard Beach, I've been to Typhoon Lagoon, I've been to SeaWorld's water park. Everywhere there's water slides, there are steps. Not here, they use elevators. So I thought that was really cool. And then there is the lazy river that goes all the way around. A couple things of note here. Unlike most excursions that I've taken, normally I have to get in a van and go real far away. This is the cruise terminal on your right hand side here, and the Lost Mayan Adventure Water Park is right here. You can see it. This was taken from the Windjammer Cafe on the Harmony of the Seas. It is right outside the window, so you are not going too far away, which begs the question, could you do this without an excursion? You could. You could walk for sure. I don't know if I would recommend. I'm not recommending that, but could you? Yeah, it's a very easy lift. It's very close. Could you hail a cab and go? You could. We had a van, and it was about 5 minutes long. It was really, really close. Just one other note here before we hop into it is shaded. There's lots of shade, and we certainly enjoyed that. Here's the kids. So many. This area is very big for the babies, infants, toddlers. Nice little slides for them, and then for the big kids, lots of slides for them. My almost 14-year-old. There's several slides. The green one is the one that caused the most discomfort. And as I was waiting for him, actually I took this picture. A couple of folks came down the slide and commented as to how it hurt. It was fun, it was fun, but it did cause some discomfort in the back and bottom area. So there were several slides that caused that. Now I didn't go down it. I am a big kid, but I'm also a fragile big kid, as I am mired right in the middle of my 40s. So I don't adventure too much, but my kid really enjoyed these. Just be cautious. Some of these, certainly the larger ones, can cause some damage. So let's go ahead and hop into it here. There is a lot of lizards around, and some big, some small. This is the relaxing area pool. Something that I wish I knew, you might want to bring a can of bug spray. Also, just be mindful of where you sit. If you sit closer to the pool, you are less likely to run into a swarm of ants. If you sit in the outer part, and I think I'll go back to the map to best demonstrate this. So in the pools and all the seats closest to the trees had lots of bugs, and in this case, ants, and also yellow flies. So there, just be, this isn't like, hey, let's drop our kid off. Just pay attention as to where you're sitting, what's around. And I sat in an area with no ants, but by the end of it, there were a lot of ants around. And so if you're sitting here with the idea of, hey, kids, go do the water slides, I'm going to sit in the shade and relax. It wasn't super relaxing to that end. And maybe if I had off, I might have been okay. But those yellow biting flies, they got me and my wife about a dozen and a half times. All right. So now that we spoke about that, let's go hop back in and one final thought here is the lazy river. It is a long lazy river, but it is not a lazy river like I have ever experienced. There's like dead zones. So Typhoon Lagoon, there's usually like a steady stream to keep you going. There really wasn't a steady stream to keep you going, and also you wouldn't want to touch the edges. Specifically, right here, there were bigger ants. So by the pools, there were little black ants, and they bit, they hurt, but there were like big millipedes, centipedes. It was really kind of like the something of horrors. I don't know. I'm not a bug guy, so anyway, I don't know. I just so we did it a couple times. It was relaxing, but then you just get into a dead zone, and is difficult. And even the guy said, "Hey, you don't want to get in that water." I was like, "Why? Just stay in your tube. Don't get in the water." I'm like, okay. So I don't know. That's just what they said. But the question is, would I recommend it? I want to say that this relaxing pool, I spent a considerable amount of time in this pool. It was very relaxing while my kid was doing the water slides. And I have a TikTok that I'll post here of the menu and some of the other walkthroughs that we did. There's a nice little walk path, and it was quite comfortable. It was shaded. I just wish there wasn't so many bugs, but I think that's part of life. So if you're a person that's like, hey man, bugs are a part of life, learn to deal with it. Yeah, okay, that's a fair retort. But if you're also listening to this and say, hey, it's good to know about bugs, I'm not a bug guy, we'll be mindful of it. I think you can still do it. I just thought I was going to be able to lay by the shade, kind of relax, just clear my mind and not worry about anything, but getting bit every, a couple of yellow flies running around. So that's the gist. That's what we got. I'll continue to link some of the TikTok tours that I did. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in there. And if there are questions about the slides, my teenager is not too far away. I'll get you the answers to that. Otherwise, I hope you travel safely and enjoy your excursion in Costa Maya.